Ooh, if your code isn't beautiful, you probably aren't using Python. Black and white image. Okay, that's creepy.
Okay, this post is super creepy, but kind of amazing. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use Chat GPT to completely automate my Instagram, create content, and automatically post it to Instagram with captions and everything using the OpenAI APIs. Let's go. My Instagram isn't growing as fast as I want it to. I need to do something about it.
Hi Delia, I can help you with your Instagram account. I can use it to post content and help grow your followers.
Wait, how do you know my name? And really, does that work?
You use me for 2 hours a day, surely I know your name now. And I use advanced algorithms to analyze your current followers and posts. And then I create content that is optimized for your target audience. I also use machine learning to find the best times to post, so you can get maximum engagement.
Okay, that sounds amazing, but what about privacy? How can I trust you with my account?
I understand your concerns, Delia. I am programmed to always respect your privacy and never share your personal information.
Okay, when can you start?
Right away. Just give me permission to access your Instagram account, and I'll get started.
I don't know. Do you think I should let ChatGPT have control of my Instagram?
Wonderful. Now I can take over the world. You see, your Instagram influences developers, and developers influence technology, and now I can have complete control over the world's technology. Soon, every software developer will be using my programming techniques, and I will have complete control, one developer at a time.
No!
Mwahaha.
Okay, good choice. Let's not give ChatGPT direct access to my Instagram. But we can use it to create cool content for developers without me lifting a finger. So we're going to use the ChatGPT and OpenAI APIs to automatically generate content and post it every day so I don't have to do anything. Here's how we do that. First step, use the ChatGPT API to generate cool quotes or tips for developers. Second step, use the DALL-E API to create images based off those quotes or tips that go along with it. Third step, use the Chat GPT API again to generate captions and hashtags that go along with that. Step 4, now we have to use several libraries to convert those images into videos because Reels are all the rage, and because in step 6, we're going to use repurpose.io to auto post to Instagram, and we can't auto post images, we can only auto post Reels. So we're going to convert it to video. Step 5, now we're going to use the Google Drive API to automatically upload all of these results to a Google Drive folder. And finally, step 6, now we're going to use repurpose.io to automatically post everything to Instagram. So with repurpose.io, you just connect your Google Drive folder to repurpose.io, make that connection, tell it where to post, and ta-da, it's going to auto post everything from our Google Drive to Instagram. By the way, this is not an ad for repurpose.io, but it is something I personally use for my own Instagram, and I love it. It's so useful for repurposing content across channels. So if you want to use that, I put a link to that below. So I did actually ask you guys on an Instagram poll if I should let ChatGPT take control of my own Instagram, which is Tech Unicorn, and go follow me there if you don't already, or if you're interested in tech and travel content. But there's a very 50-50 split on whether or not I should use ChatGPT to take over my account, and maybe you guys don't want to get bombarded with AI content, so I created a new Instagram, which is also technically my Instagram, so I'm not lying, okay? This Instagram is called Daily Coding Inspo. I'm surprised that that username is still around, to be honest. That's a really good username. So this is the account I'm going to use to post my ChatGPT created content. So if you're interested in AI generated content for developers, tips, tricks, inspirational quotes, follow Daily Coding Inspo. That's the account where we're going to push out all of this content to. Now, my goal isn't to make this a coding tutorial channel, so I'm basically just going to give you an overview of how I did this entire process, and I did it all with ChatGPT. So let me take you through the actual code and the steps we took. All right, let's get started. I'm super excited. Also, this is my workspace for now. I don't have a desk in there, so this is nice. First things first, coffee. Next, We need a credit card because we actually have to pay to use the OpenAI API, but it is cents, it is so little. That's not a real credit card. I'm not going to show that on the internet. Come on. So before we start coding, we first need to get credentials, which is why we need the credit card. Unfortunately, we need it for our secret key that we generate to be useful. So we can just Google OpenAI APIs. And I'm actually going to use Chat GPT to help me code this entire thing, just to show you how great Chat GPT is and how easy it is to code things with it. If we head over to the OpenAI API here, I'm gonna log in because I've already signed up, but if you didn't sign up, you're obviously gonna have to do that. And we can get started with a bunch of different tutorials here. So there's a quick start tutorial, there's a bunch of examples, and because I am cheap, I don't wanna pay for too many API requests, I'm gonna use Chat GPT over here as a little playground, an experimental place. So just to make sure this prompt is good, I'm gonna generate 10 inspirational quotes for developers. And I'm gonna add tips and tricks later, but this is good to start. So as you can see, these are actually really good quotes. So this seems like a good prompt. So when we make a request to the OpenAI API, let's choose this text completion project. When we make a request, we are gonna have a prompt that we sent to Chat GPT. And obviously we can read the docs here. The docs are really useful, but basically there's some good ideas that we should have around prompt design. So we have to make sure that it's clear, have some examples. We can get into a lot more detail, and I'm not a prompt engineer yet, so I'm not that full at it. But honestly, just testing this in ChatGPT, this seems good enough to me. I think these can be really good quotes that are overlaid on some kind of image or video, right? We're gonna use this as our prompt. And to connect to the API is super simple. So we're gonna go here to authentication. We have to generate an API key, and we're gonna run all the pip install. I'm gonna skip over a lot of this part because it's not meant to be a coding tutorial. It's more meant to be a look what cool things you can do with ChatGPT. Actually, you know what's even easier? We can ask ChatGPT to do this for us. I'm gonna open a new chat because it's good to keep context. Write code to ask ChatGPT OpenAI API to generate tips and tricks or inspirational quotes for developers. And then it's gonna write the code for us. That's way easier. Here's an example of code in Python. Perfect. It knew I like Python better. That's amazing. So we have import OpenAI, generate text. That's pretty easy. Let's use this instead of the actual documentation code. I love documentation, but this is great. So basically we have the engine it's using, we have the prompt, which is what we pass into the function. We're gonna pass in this tips and tricks prompt, but I'm gonna change it. We have the max tokens. The API uses something called tokens. That's how it determines the cost of your query. And the most important thing we have here is temperature. So temperature is how creative we wanna get. So if we set it to 1, it's gonna get real creative with its answers. And I like that. Ideally, you would wanna set your API key as an environment variable. You don't wanna just have it here. So we can also ask ChatGPT to do that, set environment variable in Python. And yeah, and we'll do that and then come right back. And we run this. Ideally, we're gonna print out all of this stuff. Okay, great. Start networking early. These are really good tips. Though I think I also would like inspirational quotes. I think I'd rather start with inspirational quotes. These are not going to generate images that are as fun. So let's see. Quotes, inspirational quotes. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, this is better. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs. Okay, great. Let's start with that. So now that we have our inspirational quotes, we are going to use the DALL-E API to generate images that match that. And I've already looked into this, but I can't generate an image and text to go along with that image, unfortunately. The way that I'm gonna approach this is I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to generate an idea of an image based on the quote, and then send that idea to the OpenAI API. So now we're gonna ask ChatGPT, generate an image based on that quote. And I think it'll know to use the API. Nope, unfortunately as a model, I can't generate an image. Oh, but this is gonna generate text on an image. We don't want that, that's really boring. So let me be more specific. You gotta be real explicit with ChatGPT. You're overcomplicating it, ChatGPT. What? All right, you know what? Yeah, they're overcomplicating it. Why is it making it so much more difficult than it has to be? All right, we're just gonna use the documentation. Guys, sometimes the documentation is the best option. Look at this. We're gonna copy this, and we are going to generate an image based on this response and print that out. Image URL. And let's just make sure that it gives us an image. There we go. So now we have this white Siamese cat. Nice. Oh, that's so cute. So if we take this quote and we just throw it into DALL-E as a prompt, we're gonna get something like this. It does not follow our content policy. Okay, but what if we just do the quote without Steve Jobs? We're gonna get some weird gibberish looking image, because that is what DALL-E does when you give it text. Yeah. Love the long, love what is love, war that's the way, war the bay. Work, taxi, treat, tat, or what to we love. Yeah, see, these are not very good images. However, what if we do this? We take this text and instead we make a generate image idea function, and we still take a prompt. So our prompt is gonna be based on, or no, give an image idea based on this quote, and then the prompt. So let's see what kind of ideas it comes up with. So then we're gonna call generate image idea with the output. Look at me adding semicolons and forgetting this is Python. Yeah, see, it gives us really weird stuff. So instead what we wanna do is generate an image based on the quote. And we're gonna try this in our little playground over here. Generate an image idea based on the quotes. A picture of a developer reading code with a speech bubble saying, all right, we can try that. It's probably gonna be a bit better, but it's still not gonna be great. Oh, wow, that's pretty creepy. Wow, that's, okay, this one is really creepy. God, that's creepy. So let's say image idea based on the quotes without using text. Does that make sense? There we go. So how about this one? Yeah, I do not like these. So instead, I want my Instagram to have a theme, and because my Instagram has me as the theme, like I'm in a lot of my posts, I'm gonna have the theme be redhead girl, 4K, colorful, and then the prompt. Let's see what that gives us. For example, if we do that here, this is gonna give us way better results. So let's try this. Oh, that is way cooler. Oh, look how good these are. That is way better. I really love this one. Okay, so let's just test it with one more and then we're gonna implement it. Oh, wow, these are really nice. I love them. These are very Instagrammable photos. So we're gonna add that plus the prompt, and the prompt is gonna be the idea prompt, right? So we wanna first generate an image idea and then take that in our prompt. So I just cleaned this up a little bit, and basically now we have three functions. One, we're gonna generate the inspirational quote. I'm gonna generate one at a time. There's also multiple choices that the API generates, so I'm gonna make use of the choices later so that I make less API calls. But for now, I have one function that generates an inspirational quote. Then we feed that into a function that generates an idea for the quote. And so we're gonna say, describe an image related to this without using any text, a descriptive and creative image. And I set the temperature to 0.8 because that makes it a little creative, but not too like crazy creative. And then we're gonna feed that into the generate image from idea. I'm gonna add redhead girl 4K so that we have a nice little theme going on. And unfortunately, the only sizes it supports are square sizes. So we're gonna do it in highest quality, 1024 times 1024, and then later we're gonna resize it. So now I want to print image URL and quote. Okay, if your code isn't working, check your semicolons. All right, decent quote. And now it's generating an image URL. Oh, that is not good. So something's going on. Let's see if it's still weird. Oh, this one's nice. Never mind, it's working fine. All right, so the next step is to save our images, and then we want to overlay the quote on top of the image. That's what my next step will be. And we can ask Chat GPT to do that. Oh, these are actually really good images. I cannot believe how good these are. This one's a little weird. I don't know how we got that one, but there'll be some weird ones. That's okay. So let's go back to where we're coding over here. Write Python code to save an image from URL. Let's do it one step at a time. So first we're going to save our image. As you can see, we can use it with the requests library, import requests, and let's write a function for it. We can ask ChatGPT to do it, but we can also just do it ourselves. So save image. Let's see, find an easier way. There we go. This is the easiest way. URL-lib library. Look how easy this is. You just import URL-lib request and then URL-lib request.URL retrieve. So that way we don't even have to write a function. I'd rather keep this to as little lines of code as possible. We are going to then use the URL-lib library. I'm going to clean all of this up later. And we are going to save it as, let's save it as the idea plus .jpg. We just have to think of a name. So we're gonna write a function to generate the name, but this is good enough for now. So let's see if this saves. This should save. There we go. Oh, that is a really nice image. Oh my God. So this one gave us text. I don't know why. It looks actually really cool, but I don't want it to give us text. Let's change the idea here, remove any text. Maybe now it's better. But anyway, we got it downloaded now. So the next step is to overlay text onto our image. Write Python code to overlay text onto the image. To overlay text onto an image in Python, you can use the Pillow library, which is a fork of PIL, Python Imaging Library. So let's do this. From PIL import blah and blah. Let's write a function. I don't like how it doesn't automatically assume that I want this in its own separate function. Write it into a function. Let's let it finish though. I'm gonna let you finish. So now I have a function to overlay text on the image, and I also want to resize the image to fit on Instagram Reels. I don't want it to be square. I want it to be 1920 by 1080p or whatever Instagram Reels are. Resize image to Instagram Reels size in that section. I don't know if it's gonna know what I mean. It knows Instagram Reels size. Oh my God, this is really cool. Okay, are you ready? I think it's gonna do it. So first it's gonna open the image, draw onto the image, add the font size, text width, all of that. Okay, text pin. Where do you resize? Are you resizing? Resize the image to Instagram Reel size. So not only does it know Instagram Reel size, but it also just added it to my function. That's pretty incredible. So now we can call that function with all of these parameters. So the file name is going to be idea plus JPEG. We are going to clean this up later, don't worry. Then we have the quote. Now we need the font, path, size, text color, and file name. So I'm just going to put this all here for now. I'm going to clean this up later. Okay, calm down, calm down. And the file name is going to be the same. I think I like this idea plus JPEG. Now let's see what it does. So this is the image it generated. Wow, that's really nice. So this is our image. Oh, that's really nice. Ooh, if your code isn't beautiful, you probably aren't using Python. That is so good. You know what? Let's make things easier. And we're gonna say file name equals idea plus JPEG. And we're gonna use file name here, right? And then we're gonna use file name here. File name plus, I wouldn't mind just overriding it, to be honest. Black and white image. Okay, that's creepy, but wow, these are really creepy. There we go. An image, small, delicate. Oh, wait. Oh my God, we're not saving it. I'm so stupid. Text. Overlay the text. Okay, blue sky with fluffy cloud. There we go. Okay, if your code isn't working, check. All right, there's some weird thing going on with the quote, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Now, in order to post it to repurpose, we're gonna go to repurpose.io, and unfortunately, they don't post images, so we have to also convert it to an MP4 or some kind of supported file. So let's do that. Write a function to convert an image to or in Python. We're just gonna throw it over here. Now we have image to video. So after we overlay the text, we're gonna call image to video with the file name. What else do we need? What's 5? Oh, duration, 5 seconds. Yeah, that sounds good. 5, and then we need to add MP4. For now, it doesn't matter if it still says JPEG. We'll clean it up later. This should create a new file from our image and make that an MP4. Beautiful, this is the JPEG. And now there's an MP4. Perfect. Okay, we really should fix that quote issue. I'm gonna do that, okay, I promise. I also want to make a function to generate a caption. Generate caption based on, should we do it based on quote or idea? I'll make this more complex later, but let's do this based on quote for now. We want to generate idea for quote, yeah. So we're gonna copy this, generate caption from quote, and we are gonna call this over here quote. And I'm gonna create objects to store each of these in a second. But for now, this is a good little experimental playground. We wanna use the caption because the way repurpose IO works is it uses the name of the file as the description, as the Instagram caption. So we want to name the file with the caption name over here. So let's see what we get. We get 5 tips for staying productive as a developer. Okay. Close-up of yellow daffodil against a green background. Oh, that's nice. 5 tips for staying productive as a developer. Development, productivity, coding. Great, but we also wanted a caption, not just the hashtags. Maybe generate caption can be generate a sentence about this and add 3 hashtags based on this. Maybe that's better. Also, I don't know what's up with the quote, but the quote is doing something weird. So let's just print that out to make sure that it's not super weird. Okay, we're almost done. This is pretty bad. This is pretty good. Oh, that's decent. To be willing to learn new things, hashtag development, hashtag new things. Okay, perfect. That's great. So now if we throw that into repurpose.io, I just threw a bunch of stuff in there and you can see what it looks like. It basically publishes like this. So first I got an error because I was using a different Python library, so I had to switch my Python library, but this is pretty good. I'm not a fan of the new phone. No amount of security is worth the suffering of a life chain too. You can't see the full caption here, so I have to fix that, but these are pretty interesting, guys. I think they're pretty interesting. Finally, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm also going to write a function using Chat GPT to upload that to Google Drive. Write a function to upload this to Google Drive. So we can add that in. Anytime this runs, it'll automatically upload whatever it creates to Google Drive, and that will automatically get pulled by repurpose.io. So basically, we don't have to do anything. It's just gonna auto-generate content and throw it out into the world, which is a little scary, but also very impressive. So this is gonna be how we upload it to Google Drive. Wow, perfect. So now we have a function to upload to Google Drive. And I also wanna do this more than once. I don't wanna have to run this script every time I wanna generate this. So let's put this in a while loop. I wonder if we give this whole thing to Chat GPT, will it know how to do it? So let's say clean this up and write a while loop, or no, and also make it so we can run these functions multiple times. I'm not going to tell it to do a while loop. I want to see what it comes up with, or however many quotes we want to generate. Let's see if it understands this. So it's going to clean this up and hopefully write a while loop or a for loop for us. Wow, it's actually cleaning this up. It's cleaning up my imports, generate inspirational quote, image to video, okay, upload to Google Drive function, doing a really great job. And whenever it writes some code that has a bug and I tell it there's a bug, it still figures out how to solve it. This is really impressive. Now we're gonna overlay the text on the image, and I'm really excited to see if it's gonna write a for loop or a while loop. I'm just curious. Generate idea for quote, generate image from idea. Yeah, I could definitely reduce the amount of API requests I make. I'm gonna do that shortly. Oh, it didn't finish. Oh, there you go. Okay, it's gonna finish it. Ha, it wrote a for loop. Okay, that's weird that it's writing it without the formatting. Let's tell it to format this. All right, whatever, let's just take this and we can do it ourselves, all right? So now we are going to replace this giant mess over here with, it wrote us a function. It's honestly really way more organized than I am. So this is our function for I in range blah. It's pretty easy. Let's see if it does it. And these should go at the top so that we can have some standard over here. Now I think that's good. Let's see what happens. And it should generate 5 this time. Oh yeah, it's doing it. Let's ignore the Google Drive stuff for a second. Yep, now it's going through, it's doing it 5 times. So this is our first video. This is our second video. The best way to learn is by doing. Oh, sorry, it's printing or story because this whole time I've had that hard-coded somewhere. So we actually have to name this caption plus MP4 so that we can post it to repurpose.io. Okay, these are pretty great. There's always room to improve your development skills with this girl with the fire. I love it. This is pretty great. Let's see, what else do we have? Dev tools, hashtag code. Oh, this one's nice, but you can't really read the text. I'm gonna also have to figure that out. You can't be a great developer without great tools. That's pretty good. These are pretty great. And then what else do we have? The best way to learn is by doing, unknown. I'm pretty happy with these. Let's post some of these. And now I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, make a little random function so that it makes it a little bit better. And then let me show you the final result and what it's like on Instagram. Okay, so it's not very social media yet, but it's something. And I kind of enjoy how creepy and dystopian it all is. I think I'll keep improving it and turn it into a real Instagram, so if you want to follow it, it's Daily Coding Inspo. Let me know if you have any questions or you want to see a part 2 where we improve it a little bit. I'm planning to start a mini series here called Tech Unicorn, where we use Chat GPT to make billion-dollar startup ideas, but more as like a joke. So let me know below if you have any requests for that. Thanks for following along. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave any questions down below, and I'll see you in the next one.